Hey there, this is Lyndsey Parker at Licorice Pizza Records for LPTV. I'm here with the king himself, King Tuff.
Hello. Hi.
How should I address you? Should I address you as Kyle, Mr. Tuff, Tuff, King, King Tuff? What do you prefer?
Uh,
Kyle Thomas
all
is your
of
real
them.
name. All of them.
All of them at once.
Well, I mean, you deserve a title. You have an illustrious
Tuff.
discography.
You can call me Tuffy.
Tuffy. Okay, I will do that. So Tuffy.
Yeah.
You deserve the title because you have an illustrious discography, and your new album Moo is about to come out. It's your sixth album, and I have been studying up on this, and it seems like this is kind of a full circle thing. You're like, maybe you weren't like super comfortable with how the last couple records were, and you wanted to go back to your roots, and I just would love for you to talk about. I think you even like recorded it on like old equipment from back in the day.
Yes. Well, I do like the last previous albums I've made, but I was kind of experimenting with my sound a little bit, and when it came time to playing those records live, it was hard to pull off because they had strings and pianos and stuff on them. And when I'd be playing live, I just kind of wanted to play the rock songs, my earlier songs. So I was like, I'm just gonna make an album that's fun to play live, and it's kind of also just the music that comes most natural to me is just a fun rock and roll kind of music. So I just decided to lean into that. And yeah, I went back to my Tascam 388, which is the tape machine I recorded on a lot of my early stuff on.
Your debut album from 2008 was recorded on that, right? Does
Yes.
it still? I'm sorry, I don't know much about it. Did it still work? Like,
well, it didn't work for about a decade. That's why I hadn't been using it, but I finally got it fixed. And yeah, instantly I just kind of felt like myself again when I started working on it.
Is there something about that old equipment that like the newer stuff just can't? Sometimes like older equipment is just better. It lasts longer, even though it broke for a minute. Like it just is more sturdy, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's a pain in the ass to keep it working. But it just has a sound to it. Whereas recording on the computer, you have to work a little harder to make it sound cool because it's so clean and high def that you have to kind of put effects and plugins on it to make it sound cooler. Whereas the tape machine just kind of comes, you put something in and it comes back sounding cooler.
So what made you want to experiment on Small Town, Stardust, and the other? I think those were the fourth and fifth records where you say, you were doing strings and things.
Yeah. Just, boredom, really. I mean, like you do something for a while and then you want to try something else. And, I have a lot of different musical influences, and I think a lot of artists want to see how far they can take their sound, or, really I just write songs and they come out the way they want to come out, and certain songs ask for certain things. So
were those albums well received by your fans, or were they like, hey, Tuffy, get back to your Tascam?
Some people definitely were like that, but a lot of people are like, those are my favorite albums. So it's like, you can't please everyone. So you just have to make something that is exciting to you. So I just try and make the songs that I want to hear. So
are there any other ways in which Moo is a full circle moment, like in terms of the lyrics, what you're writing about?
I mean, definitely it's full circle in that also moving back to Vermont. And yeah, just the spirit of it, like falling back in love with a lot of the stuff I listened to as a teenager and in my early 20s, like 70s punk stuff. And
oh, tell me more about that.
Just, I mean, my early influences were, like a lot of Modern Lovers and Television and Ramones, the classic stuff. And I hadn't really listened to that stuff for a while. And then I got back into it, and I started dating someone, and we were making each other mixtapes.
Aww.
And it's so fun. I was like, I forgot how fun this is.
So much better than the playlist. Here, I sent you a Spotify playlist. Not the same.
Yeah, you get to make all the artwork and everything.
That's very cute.
That's the best.
Cassettes are back. I mean, they've been back for a minute. I've been kind of surprised that, like, I don't know if you release your stuff on cassette, but a lot of people, I guess after the vinyl revival, people started to look for cassettes. CDs will probably be next.
I love CDs.
Are you into the cassette thing, though, other than the mixtapes? And what was on the mixtapes? I got to ask, if it's not too personal.
That's a good question. I don't remember, but
Sure, it was a great mix.
Yeah. I've made her quite a few at this point.
That's very sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I go into making albums like that too, where I want it to be like a mixtape where every song is good and it's its own thing and it just kind of goes and you can listen to it over and over again. And that's what I like about cassettes too, is like, they're like, it's like a record where it has sides. I think that's the one thing that, streaming doesn't have. I'm into sides.
It was the sequencing for this. Is that very important for you when you're doing Moo or any record, the sequencing? How do you belabor that?
Definitely. I don't have any like real method to it, but I do think about it a lot and it makes a difference.
Do you mentally in your head, even if it's not on vinyl or cassette yet, like, do you have a side A? Like, where's the side going to end? Where would you flip over the tape?
Yeah, I mean,
record?
Usually I like to treat each side as an A side. So like you could either put on either side and it would sound like the beginning of a record or sound exciting. So like the first song on side B should be like, sounds sort of like a beginning again.
It's very true. Very true. Otherwise, and you also have to end side A strong. Otherwise, back in the day, if it was already feeling like the album was front loaded and running out of gas, not your album, just me in general, like you might not be motivated to get up and flip it over.
Indeed.
Absolutely. I'm sure we've all I like your whole like both A sides kind of K-Tel compilation situation vibe you have, because did you ever have experiences growing up where you bought a record because you liked one or two singles and then you get the album and you're just like, oh my God, those are the only two songs. This whole album was made just to sell those two songs.
Yeah, it's weird when a band just has like one song that's so good and then you're like, what happened to the rest? What happened here? So, I want it to be like candy. I want every song to be like candy that I want to eat over and over again.
Did you write a lot of songs for this record, or was it just like the songs you wrote are the ones that ended up on
Pretty much. There's maybe a couple extra ones. But yeah, it all came pretty quickly and
more quickly than usual?
Way quicker. Yeah. And I think that was partially due to working on the tape machine. I work a lot faster on that because you kind of just have to make decisions and you can't labor over them. And yeah, I had a clear vision. So it just was like,
what was the vision?
Fun rock and roll.
I like it.
Good songs.
I like it. That's a very clear vision.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. You mentioned Vermont and returning to Vermont. I know you used to live in LA. I don't know how long you've been back in your home state of Vermont. You're in Burlington. Are you in Burlington?
No, I'm east of Burlington, in the Northeast Kingdom, as they say.
Which is suitable.
Indeed.
The Kingdom of Tuff.
Indeed.
Is it named after you now?
No.
Well, we'll work on that. Get the what do you call it? The tourism board, to create a sign like King Tuff was here.
Yeah. I've only been back a year, so give me some time to,
What made you go back? Because you were in LA for over a decade.
Yeah. I'd been thinking about going back ever since the pandemic, really. I really started to miss nature and the seasons, the extreme seasons. And also the person I'm dating is also from Vermont, so the fires last year kind of put us over the edge and, it just felt like a good time to go back.
So how did Vermont inform this album? The reason I asked, I thought you were from Burlington because I used to have a roommate who was from Burlington, and he was a total hippie. And I don't know much about Burlington other than him, and I know Ben and Jerry are from there, and they make fabulous kind of, I guess I got the impression it was kind of a hippie town.
Yeah.
Maybe from him and Ben and Jerry.
Vermont in general.
Okay.
Is quite a hippie place, but it's got all kinds of people.
You should get your own ice cream like Cherry Garcia.
I'm working on it.
King, what would be in your like King Toffee?
That's pretty good. That's
King
pretty
Tuff,
good.
King Tuff. We gotta make this happen.
Yeah, that's good.
Way out there, but
working on it.
Yeah, tell me about like Vermont informing the move back to your home state, informing this record, because there's a lot of like full circle starting over themes here.
Definitely a lot of the lyrical content is I was kind of manifesting the move back. I think there's quite a few songs where I'm talking like East of Ordinary, Back Roads, landline. I have to have a landline now.
I
But
just got rid of my landline last week,
wow.
finally. Like, after the landline I've had for like 20 years, I'm like, I do not need this. And here
Yeah.
you are.
Well, I actually do need it
Are
now.
you like somewhere remote?
Yeah. And my phone doesn't actually work
It'd be nice, though, after being in LA for so long, where it's like, LA obviously has its pockets of serenity, but it's a big city.
Yeah. I basically traded a social life for trees, and
Lyric, actually.
I'm fine with that. I kind of had gotten to the point in LA where I wasn't leaving my house too much anyway. So I was like, I might as well be surrounded by trees if I'm in my house all the time.
So I wanted to talk about, we're sort of talking about old equipment and going back to the past. So as one does, as I was researching for you, I went to your website.
Okay.
And I thought I had stumbled upon the Space Jam Warner Brothers website, if you know that, or like
Yeah.
a GeoCities site. I mean, I say this with love. I say it in the best possible way. Like, I
Yes.
expected like flying toasters to be going by at any
Yes.
minute. It was like a total like early 90s internet animated GIF situation. I loved the aesthetic, and I want to know what made you want to. I assume you haven't had that website since like 1995. I
No,
assume
it's
this
a
was
new
a choice.
it's a new website.
Okay.
And yeah, I love that aesthetic, and I think you can treat a website like an art project kind of. So I have a bunch of random stuff on there, like
Grandpa's Complaint Corner.
Grandpa's Complaint Corner.
I want to ask you more about that, but go on.
And yeah, some of my photos and just artwork. I was really inspired by Wendy Carlos's website, where she has a bunch of just random stuff on her website, and it's
The same kind of like
similar.
90s aesthetic.
Yeah,
You know the
similar
Space
vibe.
Jam site I'm talking about, right?
The
movie Space Jam was one of like the first movies to ever have a website, and it still exists, but they just never updated it.
I think
and
I
it
did
looks
see
like,
that.
It looks like your site in the good way.
Yeah.
I'll have to check out Wendy Carlos's, though.
Definitely.
So your site is fun, and like you said, it's kind of random, and you have a section called Grandpa's Complaint Corner, and you are a grandpa.
Yeah.
And I'd love to ask you about some of them, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Not necessarily all of them, but I did write them all down. I loved the fact that you wrote about, you called it cursive voice, but also avocado baby voice.
Yeah.
Which is basically people singing like they're from Iceland or something, or I don't know, just like kind of doing weird vowel stuff. You can explain like why this is something that Grandpa is complaining about in the corner. Because I agree with you.
It's just, it's a style of singing that has seemingly just infiltrated every corner of music. And it's just, I don't know. It's disgusting to me. I cannot listen to it.
I mean, if that's how you naturally sing, like if you're Bjork, that's fine.
Sure, but it's a different thing. I mean, maybe I'm just old and I don't get it, but it makes me want to die.
I understand, because I don't know, you probably do not watch American Idol, but in recent years, a lot of the singers, usually female singers, like are doing that and there was one woman who was singing an Amy Winehouse song this season, and she was singing it in this kind of garbly way, which came naturally to Amy, but it seemed so obvious. And one of the judges stopped and said, "Is that your real voice?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Sing Happy Birthday." And then she sings it like a normal person. He's like, "That's your voice. What the hell?" So yeah, it does feel affected a lot of the time, and I'm not exactly sure where it came from, like where the origin is of avocado baby voice. Which is what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, I just hope it ends soon.
Okay. Well, that was really one of the few. One of the other things you mentioned that you complained about that was music related was the idea of being perfect in the studio, which I guess sort of ties into all the things about the making of Moo. So can you tell me why that was on your list of gripes?
Yeah, I think especially with rock music, it should not be perfect. And I think this also, it goes hand in hand with recording on computers, is you can make things perfect and that just makes them boring. And it's similar with using auto-tune or something. It's like, it kind of makes everyone sound the same. And for me, it's like all about personality. Like, I want to hear the personality in someone's voice, even if they're singing out of key. Like, that is what I am drawn to, is just somebody's true personality. So it's like, it's just boring when it sounds like a robot.
You're also not a fan of bright LED lights.
Is anybody?
I don't know.
I don't like overhead lighting.
Oh, yeah, none.
I
Yeah,
like
screw that.
lamps. A lot of lamps.
All right, is this lighting here okay for you? Is it too bright?
This is fine. You
It'll
know,
look good in
it's
post,
for
I
the
promise.
the purpose.
Yeah, it'll look
Focus.
great in post. It is. Yeah, I hear you though. I hear you though. Like I hate to go to a convention center or an office building.
I'm trying to push this idea of a lamplit supermarket.
Ooh,
Can you imagine how relaxing that would be?
you would actually go to the grocery store to relax.
Yeah.
They just want you to get out though. I think when it's like bright lighting like that, they don't want you to relax. They want you to just get your groceries and leave.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. This world could be a lot nicer, and we need more lamps.
Well, speaking of groceries, and we also were talking about ice cream, I felt your pain because randomly in your grandpa's complaints, you started talking about discontinued desserts.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a discontinued. Well, no, I do have a discontinued. I'm really sad Zima doesn't exist. I really I feel that way about Zima, and I feel that way about several beauty products like lipsticks that got discontinued. But your thing that you're upset about is, I don't know these, Good Humor toasted almond bars and Friendly's watermelon roll. So these were like, I don't know, nostalgic desserts for you that were much like NYX Glitter Goals lipstick got discontinued for no reason. I have to buy it on Poshmark now. But unfortunately, you can't really buy ice cream on Poshmark or eBay.
No.
So why did you choose this is a really specific complaint. You're not just like, oh, I hate chewing loudly. You did actually say that.
I do hate chewing loudly.
But these are specific complaints. And I love the fact that I was fascinated because like you said, other artist websites are just like, here's my bio, here's my tour dates. And I was like deep diving into these like random sections of your dark web and I was into it.
Yeah. Well, again, it's like, I want to show people who I am. I want to share, what I'm thinking about. And, that's what's interesting to me, to learn about other artists and stuff. But yeah, the desserts, Friendly's, that's like an East Coast chain. The watermelon roll, it was incredible. It was like watermelon sherbet, not sherbet, with chocolate chips in it, and then the rind was lemon lime sherbet.
I'm trying to imagine chocolate chips with watermelon and lemon.
It sounds weird, but it was incredible. And then it sort of exists. They changed it into a different form, and it sucks now. And I'm just mad about it.
They did that with your favorite brand of cheese as well. I really took time.
Yeah.
This is the last time I'm going to ask you about your complaints. But yeah, basically you had a brand of cheese that I've never heard of called Seriously Sharp Cheddar cheese that no longer is seriously sharp.
Well,
false advertising.
Cabot cheddar is actually close to where I live. And I am a lifelong devotee. I still love Cabot. Shout out Cabot.
You got to get a Cabot and a Friendly's endorsement and a petition to get these things happening again.
But they have this cheese called Seriously Sharp, and I don't know what's going on, but it is not sharp anymore. And I wrote to them. I said, "What's going on here?" And I got back a pretty like bland response. And
much like the cheese,
they're just like, every batch is different. And I'm like, no, it's not. For decades, it was the same, and it was sharp, and it was good, and it's still good, but it's not sharp anymore.
Who do we have to escalate this to? We need to speak to the manager.
I might just have to go down there.
I mean, hopefully, if you're watching this, people from Cabot Cheese, like, get with the program. I feel your pain because I started a petition to bring Zima back, and like 900 people signed it, so I wasn't alone.
I mean, I was too young to try Zima.
I think only young people. I don't think it was like a refined drink for,
But I do remember, I remember some kids sneaking it onto a field trip.
I mean, it was alcoholic 7-Up. I don't understand why anyone would not want that.
I remember the bottles. Did the bottles have kind of a ridged glass?
Yep.
It's a nice bottle.
People would make dumb jokes like, it tastes like zhit with a Z. And I'm like, no, it's not true. They just had bad marketing. But this is good marketing. We'll get these products happening again. But I don't want to make it all about your complaints. If people want to see your other complaints, they should go to your website and check out Grandpa's Complaints Corner. You like a lot of things as well.
Oh, yeah. I
wrote down the things you like. It was also very random. You can just interject if you want to talk. Some of the things you like, besides, of course, playing music, drawing and painting, and other design work. You like driving the snowplow. I guess that's why you moved back to Vermont. Dogs, who doesn't like dogs? Bowling, the forest, again. Maple syrup, turtles, much like the YouTube kid, I like turtles.
Yes.
Making ice cream. Okay.
Yes.
So you could just do it. You could make your own watermelon roll. Eating ice cream. That makes sense. Root beer. And also pickling your own homegrown cucumbers.
Yeah.
You are a Renaissance man of Vermont, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm getting into some pickling. The first song I ever wrote was called Pickle Boy, so I got to live up to that song.
How old were you when you wrote that?
I think I was in 5th grade, maybe.
And so it was probably a very literal song about how you liked pickles, or was there some other meaning to that?
No, it was just my love of pickles.
You like the county fair blue ribbon pickle competition?
I'm still working on my recipe, but I might get into some of that.
I mean, you're into so many cool, like we're talking a lot about food, and we're talking about, like, I feel like, I don't know if this is something you do, but like a lot of artists, they have, like, Hanson have their own beer. It's called Hops. That's true. Or like lots of artists have like wine or hot. Alice Cooper has like a hot sauce.
Yes.
Like, do you think about going into that sort of space?
Yeah, I'm sure not making money from music, so I got to start a pickle company.
Or an ice cream company.
Yeah, probably both.
Is that one of the reasons you also left LA? I don't know if it's a lot cheaper to live, because it's gone crazy.
It definitely is cheaper in Vermont. My car insurance went like less than half.
And you probably have a house that either the rent or mortgage is like a fraction of what LA is.
Yes, and the gas is half. It's like it's much more manageable.
Is it a better space to create because of all of those things?
Definitely, and there's no distractions. I'm not like, I don't have to, when I lived here, I was like, I would wake up and be like, I guess I better get out there and meet some people or do something. And now I'm just like, there's nothing going on.
But is that ever a concern that you need to be where the action is, networking or
Heavens,
whatever?
no.
Not just because you're a friendly guy. I feel like you could work a room.
I mean, I can come to the city when I need to, get my fix, and then retreat back to the wood.
Well, since you're back here for a day or two, when you come to LA, what are the things that you miss, or are like, oh, well, I'm in LA, I got to go to that restaurant or check out that?
Pretty much just tacos.
Licorice Pizza Records, obviously.
Yes, record stores, tacos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vermont, it's got a lot going, but it doesn't have great Mexican food.
I imagine that will be on Grandpa's complaint corner too. You complaining about the lack of Mexican food in many parts of the world.
Yeah.
What's your favorite taco place in LA?
I mean, gotta shout out Via's.
Which was in the Super Bowl.
Yes, I got very excited when I saw that, but that was close to where I used to live. I got my OG that I first loved when I first came to LA was Taco Zone.
Okay.
So the Asada Molita is at Taco Zone.
That is one of the reasons. I love LA. I'm from here, but that would be one of the reasons it would be hard to leave. I go to other parts of the world or the country, and they're like, "Oh, there's this great taco." I'm like, "No, it's not great."
Yeah,
I don't believe you. So, so I hope you get to have some tacos. What else do you have going on? I know you have a lot of, besides your website and all your other diverse interests. What else are you doing besides getting ready to put out Moo?
I've just been doing a lot of artwork and making all the music videos.
Cool. Shoot them and direct them.
Yeah. For this record, I've started doing that, and it's been fun, and just getting ready to go on tour for the record.
Do you do the artwork for your albums as well?
Yeah.
Cover art?
Yeah.
How does the chicken or egg situation, which comes first, the artwork or the music, or do you think about the artwork while you're making the music?
I'd say it's always different, but a lot of times one will kind of inform the other. Like I switch back and forth a lot. So if I'm in a songwriting mode, sometimes I'll get ideas for a painting, and then I'll start painting and I'll think of songs. So it kind of goes back and forth that way.
You're a Renaissance man, King of Vermont.
I do what I
King
can.
King Tuff. Yeah, you got your pickling. you got your hands in a lot of things. This is very cool.
You gotta live. You only live once, as they say. So you gotta experience. You gotta experience all you can.
I think that's a lovely note to end the interview on. Thank you so much for coming to give your comments, complaints. Don't complain about Licorice Pizza on your website.
I would
Say
never.
good things. Put in your things I like section.
Okay.
I liked doing this interview with you. It was a lot of fun.
So much fun.
Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching, everybody.